It was a Sunday morning in Shelby, North Carolina, the kind where the world feels like it's holding its breath. The air carried the soft hum of sprinklers, the faint rumble of a lawnmower down the block, and the gentle creak of a porch swing swaying under a lazy breeze. Neighbors, bound by decades of shared barbecues and borrowed tools, moved through their routines with a quiet rhythm. Clara Thompson, 72, knelt by her flower bed, watering her petunias with a steady hand, her silver hair catching the sunlight. Her back only ached at night now, a small mercy for her age. On the porch, her granddaughter, Lily, 9 years old and bright as a summer day, sat sketching on her tablet. Frogs danced across the screen, one in a top hat, another balancing a strawberry on its nose. Lily's other hand rested near her stomach, adjusting the feeding tube that snaked under her faded t-shirt. She'd had it since she was 3, a lifeline for a rare autoimmune disorder that made solid food a gamble. She didn't know the taste of ice cream, but could describe the glow of a sunset on wet grass or the way a frog's eyes sparkled in her drawings. She smiled more than most, despite a life that had already taken her mother to the same illness and sent her father drifting into shadows. Clara and her husband, Henry, had raised Lily ever since. Their home, a fortress of love and blueberry pancakes Henry's specialty, though Lily could only savor the scent. That morning, Henry was inside, flipping pancakes, his apron dusted with flour, his limp barely noticeable despite a knee shattered years ago in a warehouse fire. He'd been a firefighter for 3 decades, a man the town revered, not just for his CRVYC, but for the way he carried equity, steady, unshakable. The neighborhood adored him, and he adored Lily, his little artist, who filled their home with sketches and laughter. But then came the SUV. It slunk down the street, black and sleek, its tinted windows swallowing the light. It didn't belong among the minivans and rusty pickups, and it stopped at their curb with a predator's precision. Clara felt at first a prickle, like the air before a storm. 2 men stepped out, their beige polos stiff, their boots too polished for honest work. Tactical belts sagged with gear, radios, zip ties, pepper spray, and the unmistakable shape of a taser. The taller one, hiding behind mirrored sunglasses, stood like he expected a salute. The shorter one clutched a clipboard, a Bluetooth earpiece blinking in his ear. HOA inspection, the tall one barked, his voice slicing through the morning's peace. No hello, no badge, just a demand. Henry heard it from the kitchen, the tone sharp enough to pull him outside, spatula still in hand. Morning, he said, slow and deliberate. You fellas lost? The tall one sneered. Not at all. We've got complaints, noise, violations, medical equipment, Cybele from the street. He pointed at Lily, her feeding tube peeking out as she froze mid-sketch. Henry's eyes narrowed. Say that again. The shorter one chimed in, nodding at Lily. That tube OLAT's Sewell Compliance Code 3B. HOA Section 11. Clara stepped forward, her watering can dripping. We don't have an HOA. I've lived here since '89. We vote on potholes at the community center. The tall one didn't blink. Shelby Neighborhood Compliance started last week. We're authorized for inspections. Henry's grip tightened on the spatula. You're not cops. The shorter one waved his clipboard. Pro Sinal Charter, Section 14.3. That child's in violation. The air turned to glass. Lily's tablet slipped, her frogs glowing on the screen. The tall one's hand hovered over his taser. Clara's can hit the ground, water splashing her shoes. Across the street, a door slammed. Curtains twitched. Phones rose like weapons. Henry planted himself between Lily and the men, a wall of flannel and fury. Grandpa, Lily whispered, her voice small but steady. I've got you, he said. The tall one drew the taser, its metal glinting. That was the mistake. Henry moved like he was back in a burning building, his bad knee screaming but ignored. He swatted the taser into a rose bush, then slammed the man into the gravel with a crunch that echoed. The fake cop yelped, pinned under Henry's titanium stiff knee. I'm a retired firefighter, Henry growled. You don't touch kids. Ever. The taller one bolted, sunglasses slipping, but he didn't get far. Tom Carter, a 68-year-old Marine vet watching from 2 houses down, crossed the lawn like a storm. His German shepherd trailed behind, hackles up. "You threatening a sick kid?" Tom's voice was low, final. The man stumbled, hands flailing, only to meet a Navy Honda CR-V reversing hard. Sophie, Lily's 22-year-old cousin, a nursing student, had pulled up with medical supplies and saw it all. Her bumper tapped the man's knees, sending him sprawling, his clipboard skidding. Silence fell, heavy and sharp. Lily trembled, not from fear but confusion why her tube, her lifeline, was a crime. Clara climbed the porch, wrapping her in a hug, careful of the tubing. "It's okay, sweetheart," she whispered. But it wasn't. Neighbors poured out old Mr. Larson in his wheelchair, the Kim sisters on their bikes, even Mrs. Grayson, who hadn't left her house in months. Phones recorded every angle. "HOA. We don't have one," someone shouted. They pulled a taser on a kid. Henry held firm, sweat beading, his knee burning. Sophie kept her foot on the taller man's chest. "Don't," she said, her voice cold. "I know trauma response. You won't like it." Sirens wailed, and real cops arrived, led by Sergeant Lopez. She took one look at Lily, the fake IDs, the taser in the bush, and nodded at Clara's phone. "Keep filming." The SUV yielded laminated cards from a copy shop, Amazon badges with Prime stickers, and violation notices listing absurd rules, non-standard medical viewability, youth presence exceeding tranquility index. The crowd groaned. "They're frauds," Clara snapped. "They scared my girl for nothing." The men, cuffed and muttering about community standards, were from New Jersey, their SUV a rental. They'd scammed 3 states, targeting the vulnerable elders, immigrants, kids like Lily. But Shelby fought back. Clara's video, posted that night, hit 12 million views in hours. Fake cops tase a kid with a feeding tube. Her grandpa said no, the caption read. The final frame, Lily's voice, calm amid chaos. "Can I draw my frog now?" became a battle cry. Memes flooded the internet. T-shirts read, "Compliance this, Henry Thompson." News anchors quoted Lily. The DA called, voice firm. "You gave us what no one else died, VY Denke." Charges stick, impersonation, assault, fraud. Lily's frogs became Shelby's emblem. Signs sprouted, compliance-free zone. Frogs welcome. Her drawings adorned bumpers, library murals, even the post office. The town banned HOAs without public votes. Neighbors, once distant, now lingered, shared stories, traded numbers. Lily, shy but steady, drew on Good Morning America, her words piercing, "Small things protect you like frogs or grandpas." Henry, offered a safety consultant job, declined. "Lily's my job," he told her. She grinned. "Keep showing up." The trial was swift. The courtroom, packed with neighbors, watched Clara's video. The jury took 20 minutes, guilty on all counts. Outside, Henry held Lily's hand. "You really saying no to that job?" she asked. He winked. "Always." The fake cops, still wincing from their own falls, faced justice drawn in green crayon by a girl who refused to hide. What do you think? Did Henry go too far? Or was he right to take down those frauds? Should neighbors have stepped in sooner? Or was their timing perfect? Would you have recorded or jumped in? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if you're Team Lily, and subscribe for more stories that spark a fight.